state of Pennsylvania. Michael Vick and the Eagles, not so good. Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, excellent. Meanwhile, the Jets went into Foxborough and got grounded and pounded by the New England Patriots. Where do they go from here? Plus, Monday Night Football goes to the Motor City for the first time in a decade. Undefeated Lions taking on the Bears. Primetime has it all.
Welcome to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
And here we go. Hi, everybody, and welcome into another edition of NFL Primetime. As always, glad you are here with us. Trey Wingo alongside Tim Hasselbeck and Merrill Hodge. Lots to talk about in Week 5, but what a capper to the weekend in football we have. Monday night tonight, the undefeated Detroit Lions welcome in the Chicago Bears. First visit in a decade to the Motor City. For a DirecTV team report, let's head out to Susie Colber. And Susie, a lot of eyes on Matthew Stafford tonight, especially because of who he's facing.
That's right, because if there has been a knock on Matthew Stafford, it's been that he has been injured a lot, and he's never finished a game against the Bears. He was knocked out of both games last year. And defensive end Julius Peppers, who has feasted on Lions quarterbacks with 9 sacks in 6 games, is the one who knocked him out in the opener last year. Not that Stafford will be thinking about that. He said, no, I do not think about the past. However, when I asked left tackle Jeff Backus what's been the word in the offensive line meeting room, he said, we are a prideful group, hardworking. We know what Matthew means to us, that he is the franchise quarterback. We have a plan for Peppers, not to be revealed here, but he said the key is not to worry about what he is doing. We need to stick with our technique. If we are sound, he will be fine. Now for a report on the Bears, here's Rachel Nichols.
Well, Susie, at 2-2, the Bears have had a Jekyll and Hyde season so far. So Coach Lovie Smith has delivered an outright challenge to his players to use this game as a measuring stick for who they are as a football team. Certainly on offense, the Bears are still looking for an identity. For a team whose roots are in the running game, Chicago ranks a staggering 30th in the league in rushing attempts. And while Matt Forte does figure to get the ball plenty tonight, that could as easily come on screens as carries. Smith said, quote, we do have a commitment to the run, but we have a commitment to score points more. Trey?
All right, Rachel, Susie, thanks so much. And let's talk about the idea of scoring points against this Lions defense, because everybody loves that defensive line. But, Merrill, there's a reason why they had to come back from 20 points down in successive weeks to win. Is because you can attack that defense.
There's no question about how you attack it is going to be real interesting. And for something for you to watch tonight is the play calling for the Chicago Bears. The front seven for Detroit is outstanding. If you're just going to line up and try to go at them all day, you're going to struggle. But if you get them out of their element, you get them running sideline to sideline, that is where you can have some success. Let's go back to the Cowboys last week and look what they did to the Detroit Lions. They made them run. Now look at the defensive line. They're attacking the quarterback. Screen to the tight end. Now we got to redirect and we got to run. That means Ndamukong Suh running 20 yards downfield to make the tackle. That's not what he wants to do. He wants to play in about a 4-yard box and knock people out. Here's a draw. Defensive lineman, let him rush upfield. We don't have to blow everybody off the ball. Let our factor back get beyond them, and we got an out of here and make them turn around and chase me. And then this is something to watch for tonight. Ndamukong Suh at the linebacker position, standing up. Why? Because he's going to rush the quarterback. Hard on your offensive line. Can we pick him up? We snap the ball. Screen again. And Ndamukong Suh has to stop and redirect himself and run at the running back. That's what I really expect the Chicago Bears to do tonight early. If you're going to line up and just go right at them, it's going to be a long, long night. But if you make them run sideline to sideline, you get them out of their element, then you got a chance to make some big plays and put points on the board early.
And for all the rushing yards Matt Forte had last week, some of his biggest plays this year and over his career have indeed come off that screen pass, especially week 1 against the Atlanta Falcons. All right, Tim, another thing, looking in at this game, you'd say, oh boy, that defensive front of Detroit against that Bears offensive line, they've been terrible. Yes, Jay Cutler's been hit a lot, but when you break down the tape, most of those hits are really not the offensive line's fault.
Well, that's exactly right. This is going to be a tough task for this offensive line. There's no doubt about it. But in previous games, they've done a nice job as a unit. Where they've really struggled in pass protection is with the tight end in protection and with the running back in protection, and also with Jay Cutler not recognizing the blitz. Here's the tight end in pass protection, Kellen Davis. What happens? Oops. He gets beat. Jay Cutler gets hit in the back. Ball comes out. Now you have here, coming off the edge here. This is Jay Cutler's responsibility. They don't have anyone to block him. Kellen Davis looking back in for the hot. Cutler doesn't get rid of the football, that's a sack. Now you see here, Kellen Davis blocking or setting on the man who's covering him in man-to-man, not blocking the guy that's blitzing. Same thing, Khalil Bell gets beat on the other end. They meet at the quarterback. Pressure in the A-gap, the offensive line's going to slide down, which means you're going to lose to the defensive end. Ball should come out to Devin Hester. Again, hit on the quarterback and a sack. What you see there is hits on the quarterback, negative plays for that offense, and it's not the 5 guys up front getting beat, it's a bunch of other issues. The good thing for the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions know how talented they are with that front, and they rush for a lot. And so they're not going to have to deal with as many blitz pressures as they did facing a team like New Orleans Saints.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. This much we know, one streak is ending. Detroit's hosting a Monday Night Football game. They haven't had one since October of 2001. That was the longest active streak in the NFL. The Lions have won the last 12 games they've played, 4 last season, 4 in the preseason, and so far 4 this regular season. We'll see if that streak continues against Chicago. Just getting warmed up here on this edition of NFL Primetime. When we return, because you Cam Newton doing all he can to take down the New Orleans Saints in Carolina. Meanwhile, the Sunday night matchup, a rematch of a divisional playoff game of a year ago, and this just in, Aaron Rodgers good or great when it mattered most. Plus, is it Tebow time in Denver, a changing of the guard at quarterback? That's all ahead on Primetime.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go. And in part by new Dr. Pepper 10. 10 calories, 23 flavors. It's not for women.
Monday Night Football live on ESPN America. In Week 5, NFC North rivals collide as the Bears head to Ford Field. The Lions are off to their best start in years. Can Stafford and Megatron guide them to another victory? Or will Cutler and the Bears bring the high-flying Cats back down to earth? It all starts tonight at 0100 CET with Monday Night Countdown. Monday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Well, Garrett Blunt hurdle is like a Garrett Blunt hurdle is
A LeGarrette Blunt hurdle is Olympic, amazing.
It's always crazy seeing him jump. I mean, it's one of those things that you don't know how he does it. The man weighs 255 pounds.
You know, it's just instinct. My favorite hurdle is probably Arizona Cardinals game last year.
Blunt went airborne, put on the Superman cape. Garrett Blunt with a phenomenal run.
It's just like perfect. I mean, he's got perfect form, but you swear up and down he didn't run hurdles in high school. Yeah, you did.
Being able to have that, you know, as a weapon is just amazing.
It's like people still can't stop it. Like, you don't know when he's gonna do it. He times it out so perfect.
It's legit.
From exotic escapes to spa indulgences to golf getaways, you'll discover your perfect retreat at Starwood Hotels and Resorts' brand new website, spg.com/resorts. Book your dream vacation at one of more than 200 amazing resorts and take advantage of our best rate guarantee. More luxury, more destinations. spg.com/resorts.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
And welcome back to Primetime, everybody. Trey Wingo here with Merrill Hodge and Tim Hasselbeck. Guys, Sunday night, the Green Bay Packers went to Atlanta, trying to move to 5-0 for the 7th time in franchise history. The previous 6 times they'd gotten there, Packers went on to win an NFL championship. So, a really good indication of where Green Bay might be headed when it's all said and done. Matt Ryan and company trying to avenge that divisional round playoff loss at their place a year ago, and early on it looked great. Michael Turner gets the corner and picks up a first down on a 2nd and 9. Later on the drive, 1st and 10, and look, a little misdirection for the pick that they made all those changes for Julio Jones, left tackle, 20 yards inside the Packers' 20. So let's pay it off. First and goal from the 5. Timmy, Matt Ryan fakes it, and Roddy White is there for the touchdown.
That does a nice job. Roddy White coming off a little rub play underneath and was able to fade back to give him some time to find Roddy.
Second quarter, they're planning around Clay Matthews. Roddy White again. What did they do here, Tim?
Well, you see here, coming off of the play fake to get Clay Matthews and move the launch point to get away from him. So good at rushing the passer. It's hard to rush a passer who's rolling away from you.
And then the inside pitch to Jason Snelling. That put him at the 1. Nice move here.
Well, the theme of the first half was misdirection and play call Clay Matthews. Why try to block him all day long? Let's run balls at him. Let's misdirection. Let's confuse him and slow him down with our play calls.
That led to a Turner touchdown to make it 14-0. Falcons defense was playing great early. Sean Witherspoon chases down Aaron Rodgers, and that is something rare they didn't do in that divisional playoff game. And then Lawrence Sidbury comes in and said, you must go down, and must go down hard. Packers would kick a field goal. They led 14-6 at the half, but by rule, they played the second half. It's a good rule, especially if you're the Packers. Aaron Rodgers, come on. Are you kidding me with that throw, Tim?
Hey, look at this. This is the prime time dime, and when you look at this from behind, it is absolutely unbelievable to see Aaron Rodgers coming off the play fake. Look when he throws this football. Jones is covered, and I'm telling you, that was going to hit him right in the face mask. Tremendous throw by Aaron Rodgers.
Packers went for 2, didn't get it. They're up 15-14, but then 3rd and 10, Jermichael Finley. I don't know how you cover this guy. Unbelievable catches up the first down. Later in the drive, now 4th quarter, let's see. We've seen James Jones, Jermichael Finley. How about Greg Jennings? Great move, gets the angle and hits the pylon, keeping his feet just inside for the score.
Yeah, what a fantastic effort after you catch the football and to stay in bounds and get the ball across the pylon. Not an easy chore right there.
22-14, Green Bay on top. Later in the 4th, same score. They're trying to put the game away, and this completion for 21 yards did it. Packers score the last 25 points in the game. They're 5-0, 25-14. All right, NFC South showdown. New Orleans in Carolina taking on the Panthers. Cam and company have been in every game that makes it happen. How does he get that ball?
This is unbelievable. Goldman hit the football, and he's actually stiff-arming the defender before his feet ever hit the ground. Great effort by Steve Smith.
They blocked the PAT, so it's 10-6. Second quarter, you are looking at the first rushing touchdown of the year, not scored by Cam Newton for the Carolina Panthers. D'Angelo Williams from 69 yards.
You know, they did such a good job of that spin, option, and to get these running backs that they have in the open space, very difficult to attack either one of them.
17-13
as well.
At that point. Now Panthers down 23-20. Cam, you go here.
Looking.
Rolling, running. Listen, this was what you saw when you saw his numbers at the combine. Ben's size and can run a 4.65, picking up the first down.
You gotta love how quickly that ball came out and hit Olsen right between the 8s on his jersey.
But they had to give the ball back to Drew Brees, and that can be a problem. 3rd and 3 to Jimmy Graham, an emerging star, picks up the first down. Look at this catch by Pierre Thomas, by the way. Just one-handed.
Snatch it right out of the air. Great job on the screen, getting guys blocked inside and outside, and beautiful running by Pierre Thomas.
Picking up 18 yards, and then 2 plays later, Brees doing his best Cam impression, escaping a little pressure. Marcus Colston coming back for the ball. Nice catch inbounds. That's a first down. 2 plays later, how many weapons does he have? Robert Meacham for 6 yards. 2 plays later, let's go back over the middle. Marcus Colston from 9, 4-9. And on the very next play, Pierre Thomas. Little fake handoff and gets him on the rollout. Brees 359 yards. The Saints go on to win 30-27. When NFL Primetime continues, could anything else be going wrong for Andy Reid and the Eagles? Buffalo ball hawking all day in Western New York. Meanwhile, in Foxborough, ground and pound was ground into the ground. What is going on with the Jets as the Patriots ran them out of Foxborough?
It is the new season, and we are set for football.
And here we go.
NFL all season long, live on ESPN America HD.
Last time I told you guys that, you forgot to remember. Remember?
They're tackling our guys on pass protection. Give me a number.
What the hell's that? Tell him to throw up on his own time. You better think about that, because you can't play if you don't do what I tell you.
You're going to be tired of me. Oh, you're going to be tired of me.
Quick snap, Gronkowski on 3rd and 12. It's wide open. It's the first catch. A.J. Green on a 41-yard touchdown, beating Hayden. And for Green, that is his first NFL reception, and it's good for 6. Holy Toledo.
Stunning play by the Bengals. You have a veteran quarterback in for A.J. Dalton. Joe Hayden doesn't get out on the perimeter by the time they snap the ball, and A.J. Green takes off for the end zone, and Bruce Gronkowski finds him for a touchdown. See it right there? Yeah, he doesn't get there. Quick snap.
The defense wasn't set.
But the offense was.
It was.
And they don't have to wait for you if you're on defense.
Absolutely.
Complete. He was going to run.
Don't miss College Football Live all season on ESPN America.
Kicker Jason Hanson has been a Detroit Lion for 20 years. To say he has been through the good times and the bad is an understatement. Tonight, in his 300th game, he faces the best kick and punt returner in the game, Devin Hester. Hanson told us he will need everything in his arsenal, and that while he can't play scared, you need to have a healthy fear, which translates into respect. Head coach Jim Schwartz insists stopping Hester will take a collective effort. Sure, for Hanson and punter Ryan Donahue, it's kick placement, distance, and hang time, but it's also about the offense and good field position so the Lions can afford to kick it out of bounds. Trey?
Primetime rolls on with the Jets and Patriots in Foxborough. Tom Brady and company getting set for what is always that bitter AFC East rival. And Aaron Hernandez, after missing the last couple of games, was back in this game, and they tried to go to him early. Patriots up 7-0. Brady under pressure looking for Hernandez. A lot of hand fighting there. Was there a penalty here? They called it, but was there a penalty here, Tim, on Kyle Wilson?
Listen, it's a little bit of a ticky-tack call on Wilson. There is contact there, but certainly if you're a Jets fan, you didn't like that call.
Of course there is. He's not playing the ball. He can't hit the defender after 5 yards. Penalty. Good
led
call.
to a field goal. They're up 10-0. Then Hernandez there for the 9-yard completion. So with 9 seconds left in the quarter, or in the half, 10-7. Brady to Aaron Hernandez. That's a touch. That's a touch interception. Right off Aaron Hernandez's hands. And Crow looked for a while like he might take this back the other way before he's wrestled out of bounds. But that should have been a touchdown.
Yeah, listen, Aaron Hernandez has that ball in between both of his hands there. Just drops it. Cromartie there to make the play.
You know, very hard to catch when the ball's wobbling. Had it been spiraling, it would have been
all right.
I'm not making an excuse.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
All right,
you know?
so that was their possession to end the first half. They get the ball here to start the third quarter, and Darrelle Revis on Welker. Apparently that's a mismatch, and Welker runs by him for a 73-yard gain to set him up deep again. Merrill Hodge, I ask you, how did that happen?
Well, Trey, I'm going to explain to you what happened here. First thing that we want to look on the play is the coverage responsibility for the defensive backs. They're in what we call quarters coverage. So corner here, safety, corner. And here's the responsibility. This corner has this quarter of the field, safety this quarter, and corner this quarter. So if anybody comes inside here, Smith would take him. If somebody goes out here, Revis would take him. So let's look at the play once we snap the ball. Look what happens. Eric Smith hesitates for just a second. See as he steps up? As he steps up right here and Welker is coming, he's reading this. Well, that's pass. That's not run, even though they did some run action. Well, that's all that takes for the Patriots to get him to hesitate for a second, freeze his feet, with Welker running 100 miles an hour, blows right by Smith. Thank goodness Darrelle Revis had the speed to slow him down, or that would have been a touchdown for the Patriots. So that's what happens. You try to create a moment of hesitation, and that's exactly what the Patriots did.
Merrill, we appreciate that. Later on that drive, 2nd and goal. Remember how they ended the last drive of the half? They turned it over in the red zone. Well, Tom Brady scrambling for his life, finds Deion Branch, and he's on the ground. And then, whoa, the ball comes out. It's ruled a fumble. The Jets recover back-to-back red zone turnovers by the Patriots. Bill Belichick just says, hang on a minute, tosses out the red flag. He says he was down by contact. Tim, was he right?
Yeah, he's right. He hasn't gotten up from the ground. He's got possession of the football. He's down as soon as Calvin Pace lays his hands on him.
So Mark Sanchez is upset that they overturned it. On the very next play, Brady, look at the time he has to find a wide-open Deion Branch. Just like that, the Patriots go up 17-7. Okay, what's the fastest way to turn momentum around after a score?
A special teams return for a touchdown, right?
That is correct. Joe McKnight could not get on the field a year ago, making all kinds of plays here for the Jets. Down the field, 88 yards before he's finally run out of bounds at the 20. The Jets would later score to make it a 3-point game, 17-14. But ladies and gentlemen, when in doubt, call the law firm of Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis. Into the end zone for a 3-yard score. The Patriots go up 24-14. All right, it's the fourth quarter. It's a 6-point game. The Jets have the Patriots right where they want them. They just got to stop the run. Ben Jarvis, no for 15 yards. And then Ben Jarvis up again, 6 tough yards. This is the Jets defense. This has been a season-long problem. Bounces it outside for another 14, and on the very next play, they run right at him again. Over 130 yards. Patriots go on to win 30-21. Tim, if you're the New York Jets and you look at this game film, that has to be the most disappointing thing. You had them right where you wanted them, but that Patriots offensive line simply stuck it right at that Jets defense.
Trey, the New England Patriots offensive line did an outstanding job of working together. It's one of the reasons that run game worked so well against the New York Jets. Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis really hitting the hole. Look at this offensive line working as a unit to get up to the second level. Logan Mankins up on David Harris. Now watch him get him to the ground so Ben Jarvis, Green, Ellis can square those shoulders and get up the field. Now, good angles after the pass set to lead up into the draw here. Again, Dan Conley getting up onto the second level. That's a 6-yard run in the red zone. Outstanding job by that group. Another outside zone play. Dan Conley working with Brian Waters to get to the second level. Watch Logan Mankins again on Eric Smith. Hold that block. Now stay on Logan Mankins and watch the little nasty at the end of the play, finishing it. It's not surprising that the New England Patriots won this football game, but what's surprising is, Trey, is how they were able to dominate them at the point of attack.
Tim, that's exactly what they did, and we go inside the numbers. This has been the story of the Jets season. Can't run, can't stop the run. They've allowed over 134 yards per game on the ground. That is dead last in the NFL in rushing touchdowns allowed. That's a huge difference from Rex's first 2 years in New York, where the run defense was stifling, holding opponents to fewer than 4 yards a carry. Primetime's got a lot more coming your way, including Ben Roethlisberger banged up, but back at Heinz had one of his best days ever from a passing perspective against a very good Tennessee squad. The same cannot be said for the Philadelphia Eagles. Buffalo continues to find ways to win. Who's to blame for what's going on in Philly?
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa. More people go with Visa.
I'm Cassidy Hubbard. Coming up tonight on a 1-hour edition of SportsCenter, we will have a complete recap of a wild Week 5 in the NFL. The Packers try to go to 5-0 with a win over the Falcons. Michael Vick and the Dream Team try to avoid dropping to 1-4, plus late-game drama for the Raiders, Giants, and Broncos. The Cardinals and Brewers open the NLCS in Milwaukee, and the very latest on the status of the NBA's regular season as time ticks down to get a deal done. It's all ahead tonight on SportsCenter.
It's frustrating and it's very disappointing, and it's not something I look forward to.
So it's 19 yards on the right hash for the lead. The snap is bad, and their season's going to end. Unbelievable! Romo can't get the spot down.
He did a good job. We just had a mishandled snap.
It obviously cost us the game.
Romo takes the snap, has time to the end zone, intercepted by the Giants. R.W. McQuarters.
It's my team. It's my quarterback.
He waits, he looks, he fires the interception. He drives for the goal line. Big Bird touchdown.
You can't turn the ball over that many times and expect to win.
Back goes Romo again. Fumble. The Eagles are going to the playoffs, and the Cowboys are going for smelling salt.
I'm disappointed and frustrated, but we will be better.
Romo rolling right, throws right sideline, intercepted.
I'm not trading for nothing. You know, he the best. He the real deal.
The dude can still make plays. 90% of this league can't.
Tony played one of the best games I've ever seen him play.
He's an awfully good football player.
We'll see what happens when this is all said and done.
Here they are, the national panel.
Today I'm feeling like the bee's knees.
Every day I lose, I die just a little.
Around the Horn is my favorite to do.
Let's go to work.
A great young talent.
He is not that popular.
Tell me, they win bad games.
I have a real problem with it because he punched a guy.
Why'd you have to go get Woody all riled up?
Get over it.
I'm fine with it.
Woody and I get awful tired of having to set these youngins straight.
What more could you possibly want?
The perfect bobblehead technique.
Going old school.
Here's an extra point for you. How about that?
It's not over, it's just beginning.
Don't miss Around the Horn, weekdays on ESPN America.
Picked up. Seahawks going the other way. It's Browner. Touchdown, Seahawks. They're going to throw a fade pattern. Near side to Ball. Comes back to the ball and pulls it into his body.
Jump ball deflected. And caught. He can run for it. He pops now. He throws. It's intercepted by Michael Hupp. The Oakland Raiders have won the game.
Just win, baby. Just win.
Primetime rolls on with the Eagles in Western New York taking on the Buffalo Bills, trying to end that 3-game losing streak. Michael Vick and company trying to protect the ball. Is there a better name for a cornerback than Reggie Corner?
Nope. Probably not. Fits perfectly.
And that one is intercepted off the tip by Reggie Corner. So later in the first, the Eagles down 7-0, 3rd and 11. Pressure, and that one's intercepted by George Wilson. But Arthur Moats comes through, the guy who took down Brett Favre and ended his streak. It's that one. Buffalo up 21-7. All right, here's the end of the first half. Clock management issues for Philadelphia. 8 seconds left in the second quarter. Eagles are in field goal range. Look at all the time, Tim.
Well, to me, that's not on Philadelphia.
Oh, no.
Number 7.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. As a quarterback, you know with 8 seconds, you can't waste all that time in the pocket.
They said, no, we had one. No, you had none. They didn't even get a chance for a field goal there. Now in the third quarter, Michael Vick out of his own end zone makes a good throw to Jason Avant. Oh, they got something going here. It's a big play, but it is wrestled away. And another turnover for the Eagles, 4th of the game. Move to the fourth quarter. The Eagles are down 10. Vick has got to make something happen here. Scrambles in for the 6-yard touchdown, but hold on. There is a penalty on the play. Hands to the face. They would settle for a field goal. Now 2 minutes left in the game in the fourth. Eagles down 31-24, 3rd and 3. Vick, Chouavant, and Drayton Florence is there, but Barnett just snatches it out of the air and returns it to the 42. That's the 4th interception of the game. As for the Eagles defense, the pride of Coe College continued to provide results. A little screen pass, and Fred Jackson's off for 49 yards.
Just another way to attack this wide 9 defense, get those defensive ends up the field, slide your factor back underneath them, drop them off, get the guy who's covering man-to-man, and you are gone.
And that is that man again. Fred Jackson had 111 rushing yards and a touchdown, plus 85 yards receiving. 1:23 left in the fourth. It's 31-24. It's 4th and 1. They're just trying to draw you off sides, and they take the bait, Tim.
This is 2 times in 2 weeks that we have 3 weeks that we've seen this.
Jaquay Parker jumps offside. Andy says, oh no, he can't believe it. The Bills go on to win 31-24. Okay, first of all, let's give Buffalo all the credit in the world here. They did what they had to do. They ran the rock. They created the turnovers. But the Eagles are now 3 back in the loss column in the NFC East. Everyone's blaming everybody in Philadelphia, whether it's Vick, Andy Reid, Juan Castillo. Tim, who's really to blame here?
Well, they need to share the responsibility, but I'm looking at players right now that aren't doing their job. And it's very hard to coach when you don't have players that are taking care of their responsibilities, and that starts with tackling. Look at here, Juan Castillo. Everyone's talking about his job being on the line. Playing man coverage, throwing underneath route, 1 tackle missed. Asante Samuel, then Nambe Asamoah, then a 3rd tackle missed. The very next play, Juan Castillo dials up a perfectly timed, never mind tackle football. He dials up the same blitz later in the game to give Page another chance to do it. Doesn't make the play. Fred Jackson turns what should be a negative run into a positive game. You can blame coaches all you want. Players need to go out and execute. Those guys in Philadelphia right now as players, especially on the defensive side of the ball, not executing.
Well, I think when you look at some of the philosophy that the Philadelphia Eagles want to apply and want to run, they just don't have the personnel to fit that philosophy. Like we talk about the wide nine. Okay, they got those guys. They got edge rushers. They will get after you. They're good at that. But if you're going to do that, that means your tackles have to be studs, man. And your linebackers better be really, really good. And they're not. They're just okay guys. They're just okay guys. They're late to the ball. They're late. We have seen in 5 weeks about 7 different ways to break down that front seven with runs. You know, leads, draws, traps, screens, shovel passes. I mean, and they haven't been able to stop one of them.
So are we saying it's a structural foundation from how this team is put together?
I think it's a little bit. You know, when you look at the philosophy they want to run, they got the ends. Those guys are great, but you don't have the core people. When you look at it, the offensive philosophy, how they want to run, well, number 7 has to be outstanding. I mean, 7 has to be awesome when that ball comes out, especially in the red zone, efficiency. You know, you can't turn the football. You've got to score touchdowns. You've got to manage the game. You know, and he doesn't do that. He doesn't complement what they're trying to do on the other side.
Well, and you're talking about complimenting on the other side in terms of how this team is built, where you're going with it, Trey. And you look at it, sure, Andy Reid's going to get some of the blame because he's involved in personnel decisions. But how about Howie Roseman as well? Howie Roseman is very involved in what they're doing from a personnel side of it. And they've obviously paid a lot of attention to the perimeter players. But you get to that middle of the defense, and you were talking about it as early as the preseason, Merrill. You go get to that middle of that defense, it's like they forgot about addressing that area of their football team.
Well, it's almost as if, look, Michael Vick had a magical season last year. Everything he did turned out correct, and it's almost as if the Philadelphia Eagles said, hey, if he does that, we don't have to worry about all this other stuff.
But you know, look,
and Michael Vick's not playing as well as he did a year ago.
Right, and that's got to improve drastically. For this team to turn around, that would have to change the most. But, you know, one guy they brought over, coveted free agent, Asamoah. Okay, when you watch him, how they're utilizing him, when he's close to the formation or around the box, that's not where he should be. He looks out of sync. He's uncomfortable. He doesn't play that well. When he was in Oakland, he played on the perimeter.
And the guy they let go, Quentin Michael, very productive football player, he would make those plays.
Eagles' first 4-game losing streak, by the way, since 2005. They are at Washington next week. Literally, their season will be on the line. Meanwhile, the other team in Pennsylvania, the Pittsburgh Steelers, Big Ben battered in that game against Houston, home for the Tennessee Titans. 3. Okay, Steelers forced to punt on 4th and 5, sometimes be a little sneaky. Daniel Sepulveda, former Highland Park Scot, former Baylor Bear. Oh, what a pass to Ryan Monday. And he picks up a
Where'd you go to
first
school?
down. Oh, I didn't go to Highland Park.
But he went to Baylor. Daniel Sepulveda,
that
a
is
nice
correct.
throw there.
Now, Merrill, they have had some running back issues in Pittsburgh this year. Richard Mendenhall was not there. No problem. Let's give it to Jonathan Dwyer. And Jonathan Dwyer, 76 yards later, they finally bring him down. It looked like a pretty good seal.
Yeah, and Dwyer is a tank. However, if you want to get a seal, you get a kick out first. Then you get a seal to the inside. Then you dig the linebacker out. And my friends, this is an alley. When you can get a seal here and a dig there and another seal, and you're that clean into the secondary, kudos to up front.
And that led to this. Roethlisberger, to normally a guy who's blocking and not catching, David Johnson, get in! And the Steelers go up 21-3 as Ben limps to the sidelines. Third quarter, same score. I like Hines Ward in these scenarios.
Yeah, and I like how quickly Ben gets the ball out of his hands because the blitz is coming.
28-3. Remember, Tennessee came in 3-1, and Ben and company were really battered on that offensive line, so let's just throw it. Ben, play action to Mike Wallace. What a strike. The second 5-touchdown game of his career. Steelers win big, 38-17. When prime time rolls on, is it Tebow time in Denver? There was a spark, Merrill, when he came in against the San Diego Chargers. And give the Raiders credit. They did exactly what Al Davis would have wanted them to do Sunday in Houston. They just won, baby.
Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America kicks off with our Week 6 triple header. First, we head to the Capitol as the Skins welcome the Eagles to FedEx Field. Then the big boys collide as Romo and Brady square off in Foxborough. And Donovan McNabb leads the hapless Vikings into Chicago to try and tame the Bears. It all starts at 1600 CET with Sunday NFL Countdown. Sunday Night Football live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
Ooh, get ready for somebody to lighten it up today.
With all the cameras and all that, I was looking for our new president. The Jets are coming.
and we're going to give you everything we got. You're a missile. Go knock out somebody. I'm not here to kiss the ring. We're going to play. Keep swinging it, kid. We'll make him pay. It says here that New England's pretty good. Any questions? Feeling good. If you take a swipe at one of ours, we'll take a swipe at two of yours. You just don't panic. I've walked over tougher guys going to a fight than Shannon Crowder. If I was younger, I'd probably handle him myself. Oh!
Minnesota Vikings, and Adrian Peterson rocks. Hands it to Adrian, up the middle to the left. Now he sprints out to the right to the 30, in front of his bench to the 40. Adrian is gone! An 80-yard touchdown for Adrian Peterson.
It's not like those guys to be late.
Get it up, Boomer! Pick it up sooner! Come on!
Hey, whoa. Hey, Coach, what's with the schooner? We thought we'd carpool today.
Come on, you guys, get in. Plenty of room.
Come on, Fowler.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime. I'm Rachel Nichols in Detroit with your team report. And if it's Monday Night Football, it must be time for the Bears return man, Devin Hester. Of his NFL record 15 career touchdowns on kick returns, 5 have come on Monday night. Hester says the edge the Bears have is how seriously their coaching staff takes special teams prep, the film study that goes into breaking down the little habits and personal tics of opposing kickers to give them some insight into where the ball might be going. Oh, and then there's Hester's approach as well. Trey, he asked the training staff to stitch the word any onto the back of his left cleat and time onto the back of his right cleat. We'll see if any Lions defenders are reading that if he leaves them in the dust tonight.
Don't forget to watch NFL 32, informative, interactive, and entertaining with Susie Colbert and Chris Mortensen, Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. All right, division battle out west, San Diego in Denver. First quarter, Broncos down 3-0. It is 1st and 10. Kyle Orton under pressure. And Kyle Orton throws this one to Donald Butler. The 7th interception of the season for Orton. And that kid's led to this. Third quarter, it's Tebow time. They're down 23-10. He's in the game. 3rd and 7. Tebow buying time. All kinds of time, by the way. Rolls out to his left and throws this one down for Eric Decker, who's just can't come up with it. So move to the fourth quarter, Broncos down 26-10. Tebow in the pocket for Dante Rosario, and Rosario just drops that one at his feet. Nothing working yet, but later in the quarter, same score. This is what Tebow can do, Merrill. Make something out of nothing.
Oh, he can do that all right.
Okay. Brevity with Merrill. That was 11 yards for a first down. 2 plays later. Listen, the H-back package, right,
He
Tim?
can do this right here, Trey. A little power play, empty, spread them out, and get them up into the hole for the
revolutionizing offense.
12-yard touchdown with a 2-point conversion. They're down 1 score, and then a great screen pass to Noshawn Moreno.
It was
nicely
great.
Designed play.
Great. Drew
28 yards
with a blitz coming right at him.
Broncos down 26-24. Here's the 2-point conversion for Brandon Lloyd, but no, he can't hang on. And that's really a great defensive play by Antoine Cason.
It's an outstanding defensive play to get his hand in there to rake it out.
All right, so the Broncos still down 26-24, but there was an energy. There was a spark. Tebow getting them pumped up. 24 seconds left. Broncos down 29-24 after a field goal. Tim, trying to keep something going?
Yeah, it's exactly what you're doing. Trying to get a chunk, which he gets right there. Initially ruled an incomplete pass. But Trey, as you look at this, 1 knee equals
2 feet. Brandon Lloyd gets the knee down and has possession. They would rule it a catch. So on the very next play, Tebow trying to get down the field as quickly as possible. Smart to not go over the line of scrimmage. Daniel Fells over the middle for 31 yards. They got to hurry up and spike it. They do it with 1 second left. So here's the play. Give the offensive line of the Broncos a lot of credit here because they hung in there and gave him time to look survey the field. He had to run away there, but at least they got the opportunity to throw it into the end zone. And it falls incomplete. Chargers hang on to win 29-24. And now comes the discussion. Kyle Orton was pulled from the game. Tim Tebow was put in. The numbers are not spectacular. 4 of 10, 79 yards passing, 1 passing touchdown, 6 rushes, 38 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. Tim, there is an issue now that everybody in Denver is going to have to deal with. This issue really, in your opinion, goes back to how they handled the quarterback situation in the summer?
Yeah, I think they've done an atrocious job of handling this situation, and that means John Elway and John Fox. They had a football player on their team that they didn't draft, and that's fine. And maybe they didn't think that he could be their quarterback going forward. But the guy's a good football player, and you can find ways to use him. Make Kyle Orton your starting quarterback, but give Tim Tebow a package. Instead of telling everybody all over the place that this guy can't play quarterback in the NFL, that he's the 4th best guy in your camp, he's not even your 2nd string quarterback, he's your 3rd string quarterback. Well, if that's the case, then why in the world is he in the game when you pull Kyle Orton if Brady Quinn is your backup? From day one, they've done a horrible job managing what people's expectations were for Tim Tebow and how they ended up using what could be a valuable asset for their football team.
Okay, so with that in mind, Merrill, do you think it is time to turn this over to Tim Tebow? They're 1-4 in their division. San Diego's 4-1. Is it time to turn it over to Tebow and see what he can do?
Yeah, I think that, you know what? Listen, it comes down to everybody's like, there's a spark, there's an energy, everybody got excited, he still lost. And at the end of the day, you have to play quarterback. And he put him on the field, see if he can play quarterback, because that will be the best way to shut up everybody. Put him on a football field, let him play for 60 minutes, let him play for a few weeks, and then you'll see it for your own eyes. Not a spark, not a rah-rah. That's not going to take you and get wins in the National Football League. Can you play consistently at that position? Put him on the field and let's see.
Listen, Kyle Orton wasn't playing consistently for that football team in a good way. 7 interceptions, you mentioned it, missing guys wide open. I don't think there's any doubt that it's time for that to happen. The question ends up being, they've kind of shut this guy down so often about what he was and what he would be for their football team, called him the 3rd quarterback. Why in the world is he in the game? Why is he in the game after Kyle Orton?
Well, really, it should have been Brady Quinn, according to what they were saying.
Brady Quinn was supposedly number 2.
Yeah, we'll find out.
He outplayed him in preseason.
Yeah, we'll find out right now because they're in their bye week, which means they have a little more time to get them prepared, and then, of course, they'll face Miami after the bye. Moving on, as we continue on NFL Primetime, the Raiders and the Texans. And Al Davis, of course, on everybody's mind, passing away at the age of 82 on Saturday. And the slogan, Al, on stickers for everybody.
To get better, way their running game's going, this Raider offense is going to be smoking when it counts.
Yeah, he's able to climb the pocket here, see the shallow crosser, freezes the underneath coverage a little bit. Good, accurate throw while he's moving.
In for the Raiders after Al Davis passes away. The Raiders hang on to win 25-20. When primetime rolls on, Seattle had lost their last 9 games played in the Eastern time zone. They decided 10 was not in the cards. The Giants certainly helped them along those lines. And San Francisco is on a roll. Don't take our word for it. Take the Bucs.
You are watching NFL Primetime, presented by Bud Light.
College football lives here. Coverage starts with College Game Day, Saturday at 1500 CET, live on ESPN America.
Breeden down the sideline, has a man, touchdown! Jimmy Graham. Breeden stepping up, end zone, touchdown! Been a while since the Saints converted a 2-point attempt. Breeden rolling, throwing, got it to Lance Moore. Shaw, under pressure, throws it, almost interception. Here's a penalty marker down. Kevin Walker has the football.
In his effort to try to grab it, he kept it off the ground, and it ends up going right to Walter.
From the 13-yard line, Ingram to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! Breeden rolling out, same play. They didn't have a two-point conversion since 07. They do it twice today.
In 2010, Jacksonville's Maurice Jones-Drew embodied toughness. He ran for over 1,300 yards for the second consecutive season, despite playing with a torn meniscus in his knee. Jones-Drew recorded 6 straight games with 100-plus rushing yards, the second longest streak in Jaguars history. With a healthy knee in 2011, MJD should help the Jaguars make a run for the playoffs.
Welcome to the ESPN Player, your source for live and on-demand college sports. Catch hundreds of college basketball and football games, including the Bowl Championship Series and March Madness. Plus, college lacrosse, ice hockey, baseball, and much more. And you can pause and rewind the action so you never miss a play from your favorite team. It's all live, all on demand, all from €9.99 a month. Sign up now for ESPN Player.
Primetime rolls on with the Bucks and the Niners, a battle of 3-1 teams, and westbound and up we go. Woohoo! Because San Francisco is feeling good. Alex Smith got things going early. First quarter. Has time, stands tall in the pocket. That's a strike around 3 Buck defenders to Delaney Walker. It is 7-0. It got to be 24-3 very quickly, apparently. Vernon Davis breaking tackles, and just like that, San Francisco is up 31-3. Tim, if they can't cover Vernon Davis, they should keep going to him.
Yeah, exactly what Alex Smith is thinking there as he gets him outside and throws the football up, and Vernon able to run underneath it.
A career-high tying 3 touchdown passes for Alex Smith. And how about the defense, Merle, of the San Francisco 49ers? Carlos Rogers contributing.
Boy, they're playing great at all 3 phases right now. And with Alex Smith on offense playing as hot as he is and Gore running the football, look out for the West Coast. Raiders, 49ers playing good football.
31-yard pick 6, and look at the hits here. Freeman to Mike Williams. Oh, my goodness, Deshaun Goldston just dislodges the ball with a major hit. The 49ers would recover. They forced 3 turnovers, and Merrill, there was a factor back in this game, and his name was Frank Gore.
Yeah, that's right. Frank Gore, you get him on the other side of the line of scrimmage, get the ball in his hands in the passing game, and then downhill, little power old counter, corner, goodbye. How about the little high step, the little Peyton-esque?
He's still got a lot of spring in those legs. This time he runs right, keeps his feet, a 21-yard gain here. He had 20 carries for 125 yards, 48-3. The Niners destroy Tampa. Hey, people in the West are feeling good about themselves. Seahawks at MetLife Stadium. Tavares Jackson and Pete Carroll all smiles. They had lost 9 straight games in the Eastern time zone. Early first quarter, there is no score. Tavares to Ben Obamanu, and he's in for an 11-yard score. Seahawks up 7-0. Later in the first, game tied at 7, and Marshawn Lynch, Merrill goes beast mode for 47 yards.
Great job of pressing the hole, getting downhill, pull all the defenders in, and get to the perimeter, and then get him off me, my brother.
Yeah, they tried to pull him down by his hair, by the way.
It's legal.
It is legal, and Lynch would punch it in on the next play. Charlie Whitehurst had to come in for Tavares Jackson. Under 3 minutes left in the fourth, Seahawks down 3. Now, OC jumped off sides here, and the Giants stopped playing. Doug Baldwin says, I'll take it, Tim.
Yeah, it's exactly what happened. They're trying to pass it off here between Aaron Ross and Antrell Roll, and you see Doug Baldwin just split them.
And Pete Carroll says, that is a touchdown. He is very happy. Seahawks up 29-25. Okay, Victor Cruz, boy, he had some great plays, and he had some not-so-great plays. 3rd and 13. Now, Eli, Tim, he just sort of chucks it up here.
Giving him an opportunity to go get the football. Don't know about the decision, but the play by Victor Cruz is absolutely outstanding. Never even puts his left hand out to reel the ball in. Look at this. Just stab it with that right hand, bring it in, and take off.
Better the catch or the dance after?
The catch was way better than the dance.
Okay, fine. Giants converted 22-point conversion, up 22-19. Then, okay, apparently on this play, Victor Cruz did not declare himself down. That is a fumble this time around, right?
Yep, when you keep fighting and the knee's not down, now that would be an official fumble.
Right now, this is what Tom Coughlin, high and tight, baby, like Tiki used to have it, high and tight. Just over 2 minutes left. Giants down by 4. Manning, guess who he's looking for?
Let me get Cruz.
That is correct. He caught the back end of that football for a 41-yard reception. So we've had good Victor, bad Victor, good Victor, and we're going to finish off with bad Victor. He slips, again, just one hands the ball, Tim, and it's going the other way. Brandon Browner, 94 yards, and that's going to do it for a touchdown. Now, the ball is tipped. He slips. What happened here, Tim?
Well, he slips coming out of his break, and so he's not as quick out of his break as he was into it. Eli leads him. Ball gets tipped up.
4 turnovers for Eli, 3 picks, and a lost fumble. Meanwhile, now it's time for those teams down on their luck, as in, can we get Stanford's Andrew Luck? Cards and Vikings, big day for Adrian Peterson. Boy, you never want to trade him away in fantasy. First quarter, there is no score. Adrian Peterson nearly slips inside for a first down. 2 plays later, the factor back will what, Merrill?
He will make you pay because he is the cashier.
7-0 on that touchdown run after a Kevin Cobb interception. Vikings drive. Peterson one more time. Goes in, bounces it out. It is 14-0. Minnesota Peterson.
With authority.
It's 21-0. Adrian, once, twice, 3 times a touchdown. It's 28-0 Vikings, and the Cardinals are thinking, we got Minnesota right where we want them.
Who would trade him in fantasy?
Honestly, it would have to be one of the dumbest moves you could possibly make.
We're only saying that because we know somebody here that traded him in fantasy. Vikings don't blow the lead. They win 34-10. As for leads being blown, it is Indianapolis hosting Kansas City. Peyton Manning not available. How many times have you heard me say it, Tim? Curtis Painter to Pierre Garçon, one of the great touchdown combinations of all time.
It's money in the bank, Trey, just like right here.
Yeah, this was the second of the game. 67 yards for the score. The Colts are up 17-0. How did he get so wide open?
Well, you see here, Curtis Painter using the pump fake. The corner falls off into the inside seam route. And Curtis Painter has enough time to reset his feet and throw it up over the top.
So it's all good. The Colts are going to finally get that win. It's 17-0.
Who needs Peyton Manning, right?
They do. Dwayne Bowe and Matt Castle also providing their own sparks. The slant, and boy, just no tackling through the secondary. That made it 17-7. It's now a 10-point game. Nice play by Dwayne Bowe to fight for the ball.
This is absolutely unbelievable, the body control. We've seen Dwayne Bowe do this often, but look at this. Tips the ball to himself twice, and is then able to get his body underneath it so it doesn't hit the ground.
3-point game, and now he had 2, and Steve Breston, he also had 2. The Chiefs come all the way back, 28-24. Indy falls to 0-5 for the first time since before Peyton Manning was drafted in 1997. Okay, these are the teams down on their luck. Colts, Dolphins, Rams are combined 0-13, are the front runners in the Andrew Luck sweepstakes. Dolphins, of course, need a quarterback this year, while the Rams would have an interesting situation if they were to land the first overall pick because they got Bradford. The Colts still have Peyton Manning on their roster. They're hopefully he's going to come back maybe at the end of this year or hopefully next year, but it is still very dicey. All right, when prime time rolls on, we hand out the hardware. Who was Sunday's best and why? We'll tell you when prime time continues.
Well, I think that'll do it.
What?
Most of this liquid will just evaporate, and the floorboards are just going to absorb everything else, so... Yeah, have a good one.
Looking, getting hit by Wake, and he got sacked.
It's Cameron Wake again. Cameron Wake is there and throws to the ground.
Well, what a rush by Cameron Wake. And the rush on Brady, and he sacked. Cameron Wake is just having himself a heck of a game.
We're underway in Super Bowl 45. 3rd and 1. Rodgers play action. Looks to the end zone. Rainbow's Jordy Nelson. He's got it. Touchdown pass. Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson. Rodgers throws right side of the end zone. Wide open. Touchdown. Pump fake short. Airs it out deep. Left side. Intercepted on the underthrow by Collins. Weaving his way to the 5. Leaping end zone. It's a touchdown. The title is back in town.
If you want to get on the inside track of Formula One, there's one dedicated website that can keep you up to speed. With live race commentary, expert analysis, statistics, and up-to-the-second news. ESPNF1.com. Online or download the app now.
NFL Primetime is presented by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
All right, here we go with primetime performers. Despite strenuous objections from one Trent Dilfer, Tim, you have chosen...
I've chosen Sebastian Janik.
Tim forgot who he chose.
I just was watching. I didn't want to step on.
My primetime performer, step back, Ben Roethlisberger, 5 touchdown passes, a foot that most men couldn't even walk on, comes out and leads his team to victory. He's my primetime performer.
That's a very solid
He's a great bow hunter, too, by the way.
No one cares. I'm going to give it to Alex Smith. Did anybody want Alex Smith in the offseason?
No.
The answer is no.
Not even the 49ers?
No, not even them. 48-3, 3 touchdown passes. Just so people understand, that 48-3 beatdown, that is the largest margin of victory that the 49ers have had since they beat the Denver Broncos in the Super Bowl 55-10. Did either of you guys think, with a new rookie head coach, no OTAs, no minicamp, that the 49ers would be 4-1?
I did not.
Yeah.
And no one thought that Alex Smith would be playing as well as he's playing right now.
Early candidate for Coach of the Year? I mean, the other ones would be Jim Schwartz, obviously, in Detroit, and Chan Gailey with the Buffalo Bills.
But I think when you look at first-time rookie head coach in the NFL, Jim Harbaugh has to be leading that discussion now.
Schwartz.
You agree? You go with Schwartz?
Yep.
There's probably no wrong answer here. There is a wrong answer with the kicker.
But listen,
thanks for watching.
Jeez, what the heck was that?
ESPN America, your home for live Major League Baseball.
Welcome to the Chevrolet ALCS pregame show on Fox.
In Game 1, Justin Verlander was knocked around by the Rangers' big bats.
Deep left field. Goodbye.
And then after the skies opened up,